Okay, let's hope the connection stays stable. I know that I'm going live early, but we're gonna hope that we can get the connection good and stable. It doesn't go out. My husband was just watching the Butler basketball game and that froze, and he's desperately trying to find a place to go now to watch the game. So I am gonna be live on Facebook, and I'm also live on Instagram, so I'm live in a couple different places because I wanna give people all the places to find us. So move my light a little bit so I have a little better lighting down here. I'm pretty sure, because this is how it goes in my house, I don't know how it is in your house, but if I start something, a video, anything, that is usually when my dogs want something, when my kids want something, when my husband wants something. I mean, this morning I got up, we have a snow day today, we have a snow day tomorrow. This morning I got up at 5, I was down here doing my workout at 6 o'clock this morning, and quiet. I got on a conference call at 9:30, and by golly, my husband came right into the kitchen, started the blender. I'm like, dude, like you've had all morning. But no, right at 9:30 when I'm on a Zoom call. So anyway, that's my life, and that's life in coaching, and that's just life. But tonight we're going to talk a little bit about what it means to partner with an amazing company, Beachbody, my story as a coach. I'll try to answer any questions that you have. And then after I come on in the Facebook group, not on Instagram, but in the Facebook group only, one of my dear friends and coaches, April Kieber, will be coming on to share in the Facebook group. And she might be live on her Instagram too, but we don't live in the same house, so she won't be live on my Instagram. Just be me on my Instagram tonight, but she'll be live in the Facebook group. I just thought, you know what? And then I have so many fun friends on Instagram that maybe you don't want to go to Facebook. So I thought, why not just be live in both? So I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a couple more minutes to get on, and then we're just going to chat it up a little bit. And if you have questions, I am looking in two places. So on Facebook, it's a little weird. I have to continue to keep scrolling up to see the questions. Instagram, I love me some Instagram. It just scrolls up automatically. So if you have questions, I should be able to see them pretty quickly on Instagram. But I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to share my story with you. And I've been a coach a long time. And a lot of people, as they come into coaching, only see sort of where you are now and don't know your whole story. So I'm going to share that with you a little bit too. So hold on a couple minutes and just listen to Sean for a minute. Ooh, good question. I'll answer that in a little bit. Yeah, and if you have some questions, you can drop them in the comments, and hopefully I'll get to them before I go. I am a rambler, so April's going to have to cut me off because I love this business so much. It's changed my life so much, I could talk forever. As Sean says, it continues to transform your life. You know, it's so good. I hate to shut this music off. It's so good. Okay, I am going to get started because I'm worried about my internet connection because of the cold. So I'm going to get going. I can see it kind of flickering. And if it flickers and I lose Facebook, I'm going to be on Instagram, and that's where I'll be. So we're going to hope that the pipes don't burst and the wires don't freeze and all of that kind of stuff. So welcome to our behind the scenes coach Q&A. Send up good vibes for strong Wi-Fi for the next few minutes. My name is Julie Boris. Welcome. I am part of an amazing team. Our team name is Sparta Nation, but that's not as important as the team that we are all on, and that is Team Beachbody. We partner with Beachbody and share the products, the programs, the community, and the business. My journey through this business has been over the past 10 and a half years. And I feel like, over the past 10 and a half years, we've gone through a lot of iterations of, do we call them sneak peeks? And, what do we call this sort of forum to give people an opportunity to ask questions? But I hate the term sneak peek because there's nothing sneaky about what we do. What we do as coaches is so mind-blowingly amazing, life-changing, that there's something sneaky about it. And I hope that sharing a little bit of my story tonight and just opening it up for questions on both Facebook and Instagram. Hopefully I can answer some of your questions. If there's something that I don't answer that you're like, dude, why didn't you answer that? Just message me later and I'll get to it, or I'll do it in another live tomorrow, because honestly, there is nothing sneaky or hidden or there's just nothing negative about this business in any way. It's interesting to me sometimes the feeling that people have about sort of the side hustle and the home business, because this is the one place that you can create the life that you want to create by your intention and by your design. And I don't know that it gets any cooler than that, because we get to combo that with changing lives too, and to be able to create success and significance at the same time, I think is really what every human wants. I think that's what every human wants to do with their life, to do something that is significant, that creates something lasting, and at the same time is successful enough that it affects their family's life and their lives. So that's what we get to do as Beachbody coaches. I've been in coach 10 and a half years, but I think my journey started way, way, way before that. I grew up in a teeny tiny little town with literally, this is not an exaggeration, literally a cornfield in my backyard. My town had no stoplights then, and it still has no stoplights, but we do have a McDonald's. Whee! And it was just a little teeny tiny dot on the map in the Midwest, and I sort of did the traditional route that everybody does. You know, I went to high school, tiny little high school. Went to college, very mid-sized Midwestern college, got a teaching degree, started teaching high school English, and I did that for a lot of years. And met my husband in a summer internship. He's a college football coach. He went to college to play football, became a graduate assistant, was getting his master's, was a college football coach. That's all he's done all his life is been a college football coach. And he's now at Butler University. We live in Carmel, Indiana, right outside Indianapolis. And, you know, it's been a lot of twists and turns. It feels like on that journey, a lot of moves because of his job. And one of those moves was from the town we were living in, and I was teaching, to another state, another school. Did not know how long we were going to stay at that place. And so I stopped teaching high school and sort of fell into fitness in a way. We joined a YMCA there. We had 2 daughters, and I was pregnant with our third. And I joined the Y for a lot of family activities and found group exercise. Until that point, all through teaching, all through college, all through teaching, I was always the person, you can see that I'm standing right now, I was always the person who couldn't sit still very well. So whether it was structured fitness or not, I was always the person who just was a mover. I'm just a mover. I don't like to sit still. And group exercise just wasn't part of my life at that point. It wasn't as popular or as predominant as it is now. I just sort of worked out. I did a lot of, when I was teaching high school, I did a lot of The Firm tapes, Cindy Crawford. I had a lot of VHS. I was working out at home before working out at home was really very cool, and I was doing it on VHS tapes. I just knew my whole life that fitness was not negotiable. I just really fell in love with fitness. And that led to when I got to a place where we moved again and was taking some fitness classes. I think my love for fitness, my genuine love for just fitness and health, led to the group exercise director asking me if I'd ever thought about teaching, and that if I hadn't, I should. And actually, she'd like me to start teaching like next month. So it was this really interesting journey of growing up in this tiny little town where no one in my family owned a business. My dad was an engineer, and my mom, I'm going to give you one guess what my mom did. She stayed home because that's what moms did in tiny little Midwestern towns. And my dad was an engineer, and then I went to college and got my degree and got married and taught high school and had babies, and we moved a little bit. And then all of a sudden we found ourselves in this place where someone said to me, I think you should be teaching group fitness. I think this could be your jam. And I woke up one morning and thought, this was the thing I was supposed to be doing. So I kind of took a leap of faith and got into teaching fitness. I tell you all that because my husband and I chose vocations that are lucrative in a lot of ways except money. It's really, really rewarding to be a football coach, a coach of any kind. For him, it's really, really rewarding to be a football coach. He is doing with his life exactly what he was put here on earth to do. Absolutely, no question. It's just not super lucrative. And when I was teaching high school and really, in the thick of it, even with the babies, I was doing what I love doing. I love teaching. But my first year as a high school English teacher, I made $16,000. That's not a typo that you're hearing. 16,000. That's what I made for the entire year, my first year as a high school English teacher. And we could go into all kinds of conversations about the disservice our education system does to teachers and why are we not paying them more. But that's a whole other conversation. But we chose these vocations that didn't pay us a lot, but certainly made us rich in some other ways. But at the same time, you have these children and you can't go to the grocery store or the bank to open a college savings account and go, well, I just taught a really good class. Is it okay if I just take these groceries for free? That's not how this works. So at some point there had to be some money, but I followed my heart into this fitness gig for whatever reason. And we were home, I was home with the third, and when you get to that point, and my husband's job is so time consuming that I knew I couldn't go back to work full time. And the Y said, I think you should be teaching. And I said to my husband, what do you think about this? This seems like no one's ever asked. I have no experience. And he said, well, do you get a free membership to the Y? Yes. Okay. Then that was the decision maker, because it was so tight and we wanted the girls to be in activities that if I could get a free membership to the Y and they could get discounted classes, then okay, let me follow this passion and start teaching group exercise and see where it went. And here's the interesting thing about that. I had no idea what I was doing. Kind of like marriage. Nobody knows what they're doing when they get married, right? You don't really know what it's going to be like to be married to someone. And then we had children, and I had absolutely no idea what I was doing when I became a parent. And I'm going to guess neither did any of you. None of us know what it feels like to be a parent, but yet we just say yes, and we step into this space and say, okay, I'm going to figure this out as I go along. And that's sort of how I approached fitness, and I knew I loved it. It sounded exciting. It felt like the right place for me to be. So I just said yes and stepped into this space and started figuring it out as I go along. I need you to understand it's not because I'm particularly smart or particularly spontaneous or adventurous. Really, none of those things. I just kept kind of putting my foot in front of the other and going, all right, well, that sounds interesting. Let me try that. Maybe I'm more curious. I don't think of myself as adventurous, and I did not at any point in time think of myself as an entrepreneur or a business owner. Like, I like fitness. I could get a free membership at the Y. Let me do it. And that's how I started teaching fitness. But from that one decision, from the one conversation of someone saying to me, you should teach fitness, from that one decision and that one step into that space, my entire life changed. And that's not an understatement, because once I started teaching fitness, I then found a format called Turbo Kick. And if you're familiar with that, Chalene Johnson's program Turbo Kick, it was actually in the gym Group X setting before it became an at-home workout. Then I found this program called Turbo Kick, and then I got certified in it, and then I started teaching it. And then I became a master trainer in it. And then the Beachbody opportunity came along. And then I started building a business. And now here we are 10 and a half years later. And it's just because I continued to say yes and step into these spaces where I had no idea what I was doing. So if you take that back to every other context, if I would have said to my husband, or if I would have just said to myself, well, I need to know everything there is to know about marriage before I get married, I would not be married, and most of us would not be married. If I said I need to know everything there is about raising children and being a good parent before I actually have a child, I would not be married, or I would not have children, and probably neither would you. So if I would have said, I need to know everything about teaching group fitness before I started teaching group fitness, I would not have been teaching group fitness, and my life would not be any different. The same is true for coaching. If I would have said, I need to know everything there is to know about Beachbody coaching before I say yes to it, I would never have said yes to it. And my life would be exactly the same or worse than it was 10 and a half years ago. Because 10 and a half years ago, we couldn't pay our bills. 10 and a half years ago, we couldn't get to the end of the month and pay our bills. And maybe you're not in that particular situation, but 10 and a half years ago, I also didn't have a community of women supporting me. I did not have fitness options. I didn't have personal development to the degree that I have now. I didn't have nutrition to the degree that I have now. I just didn't have the life that we've been able to create that we have now. So just saying yes without ever knowing all the details has changed everything. And I think that as humans, and especially women, so women, I'm talking to you, especially women, we tend to magnify everything in our minds. We're so busy, we have so much on our plate, as if there's some award for being the busiest. I'm going to tell you that there's no award, and if there is, you don't want to win it. And we need to stop magnifying everything that's on our plate and the length of our to-do list as if it's some contest, and start saying yes to the stuff that might be a little scary or that we just don't even know that much about, and seeing where it goes. And I'll be honest with you that I'm looking at helpful to know that you don't need to know it all. But literally, I can't even imagine how like that sentence, and I'm saying this with love, is even helpful, because literally, think about it. Did you know everything there was to know about anything in your life before you started it? I mean, literally, just think about it. Did you know everything there was to know about marriage or parenting or even the job that you might be in now? That's like saying, you guys listen, that's like saying that my husband, who's been coaching for more than 25 years, when he first started at his very first job, that he knew everything about coaching football that he does now. Is that even possible? It's not even possible. Like when you say that in any other context, you're like, well, of course, no, that doesn't even make sense. Why would it ever make sense in any other context? This Beachbody opportunity is just that, an opportunity. Everybody needs to move and have fitness in their life. Everybody needs to have good nutrition in their life. Everybody needs community in their life. And most of us, whether we know it or not, want to admit it or not, and I was one who didn't want to admit it, even though we needed it so bad, I didn't want to admit it. We need more income in our lives. Everybody needs fitness. Everybody needs to move. Everybody needs good nutrition. Everybody needs community. And most of us need a way to produce more income. Even if we're okay with where we are now, chances are we could use more income for college, retirement, whatever. And this Beachbody opportunity is just that, an opportunity to fill all those niches. And if I would have waited till I thought I knew everything about anything in my life, anything, I guess I'd still be like in high school, because I would have had to wait to know everything about college before going to college. And then I would have had to wait to know everything about teaching before I taught my first high school English class. And then I would have had to wait to know every single thing about being a group exercise instructor before I did that. And that's never going to be possible. I don't know everything there is to know about parenting. My oldest daughter, she's 23. Sometimes I forget if she's 22 or 23. I don't know what it's like to parent a 24-year-old. I have no idea. So I guess I want to figure that out as I go along, because I have no idea what it's like to parent a 24-year-old. Am I supposed to wait until I know what it's like to parent a child at all ages before I have children? I can't. So am I supposed to wait till I know everything about every opportunity that might come to me before I say yes? Well, my life would be so different now. It would be so different. When I started this business, I started it early on, and there weren't the plethora of success stories that we have now. So someone coming in now can never, can't, with a straight face, literally can't look around and go, well, I just don't know if this will work. Really? Because we have 20 years, 20 years of physical results and 12 years of complete and utter life change stories that have happened since the Beachbody opportunity has become an income opportunity. So you can't even say it with a straight face. Well, gosh, I just don't know if this will work for me. Oh, okay, it's worked for, hundreds of thousands of people, but you'll be the exception. No, probably not. But when I came into the business, it was so young. It was such a baby business. It was less than a year old. And so there weren't success stories yet. There just weren't success stories yet. But I figured, I think I can make some money. I think I can, because I love helping people, and I'm pretty passionate about health and fitness, and I think I can maybe do something with it. And all I wanted to do, because remember, I was teaching group exercise. I was a master trainer. All I wanted to do was pay for my Nikes that I was wearing to teach my fitness classes. That's all I wanted to do. And as that happened, my goals started to get a little bigger. But by little, I really mean just a little teeny tiny bit, because it takes a while to start to see the potential in the business, but in yourself, because that's where the real potential is. The business, yes, but the potential in yourself, because we all have it. Our potential is so unlimited if we would just embrace that. And I think that more than the business opportunity, I think what scares us the most is how freaking awesome we can be. And we hold ourselves back from that. Honestly, that's what I think. We're not scared of the business. We're scared of our own awesomeness, and we just don't come out and say that. And I just didn't even know what I could do with this business yet. I thought, well, I'll just pay for my Nikes. And then as my daughters really got super invested in some of their high level activities, and I could see that my little fitness thing at the Y and my husband's coaching, even at the college level, was not going to pay for the things that they wanted to do. And how dare I bring these children into this world that have passions of their own and not be able to help them pursue them? That's what this business became for me. How can I say yes to them? Period. And by yes, I don't mean what can I buy them, because that's never been who we are. We live in the very same house that we lived in before Beachbody. I drive a Chevy Traverse, and I don't carry a fancy purse. I build this business for Jenna, Josie, Jesse, and my husband and I somewhere down the road. But it became about saying yes to them. And as they found their passions, like I had found fitness, and my husband found football, as they found their passions, I began to see that I could help them pursue those passions. And if I'm going to bring humans into the world, that's part of my job, to make sure that they can pursue their passions and I can say yes to them. Because there was a point in time before this business when I had to say no. No, you can't go on that trip, or no, you can't do that field trip, because we didn't have the money for it. And that sucks as a parent. That is the worst. And so I could start to see that this business could help me help them. And it came from, okay, let me buy my Nikes, to Josie loves ballet. Let me pay for her point shoes. Jenna loves color guard and marching band. Let me be able to pay for her to go to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade with the marching band. I mean, can you imagine? And then let me be able to pay for voice lessons. Now let me be able to pay for Jenna to go march in the Rose Parade with her marching band. Like, can you imagine if I would have had to say no to that? But I didn't have to, because this business allowed me the opportunity to continue to say yes. And that's what it can do if you say yes. And the business comes down to simple activities. If you're making it more than it is, that you're just making it more than it is. It really is pressing play every day. I do it right here in my basement. Drinking a shake every day, putting good stuff in your head every day with a book, personal development, really leveling up your squad and surrounding yourself with people who truly believe that you have potential in you, having your own journey, and then just inviting people on that journey with you. Really, that's what this business is. Using the products, the programs, the opportunity, the community and sharing it with everyone else, because we all need it. We all need it. And it's no different than when you go to a movie and you recommend it to someone, when you drink a shake and you recommend it to someone, when you go to a restaurant and it's good and you recommend it to someone, and you do a workout and you recommend it to someone. Everybody needs health and fitness. Everybody needs nutrition. Everybody needs community. And most of us need more income. It just is. So why not do something that creates that success while it's creating some significance for you, and allow you the opportunity to say yes to whatever it is you want to say yes to in your life. Maybe you don't have children. That doesn't resonate with you. That's totally fine. Maybe you want to buy yourself a awesome apartment in some downtown city, and that's what you want to say yes to. That's your dream. And that's the beauty of this business, is you get to choose your dream and work towards it. You're never in this business by yourself. You are in this business for yourself and a little in some aspects, because it's your business and your dreams and your goals, and you get to set those dreams and those goals, but you're never in it by yourself. And especially on our team, because we are a 10.5-year-old veteran team. That means years and years and years of stories and experiences and knowledge that every coach in our team gets to tap into. Every coach in our team gets to tap into. Now, do they have to be responsible for tapping into that? Yeah, because you know why? We're grown-ups here. We're grown-ups. We are CEOs of what can become a multi-million-dollar business. But if I was a brand new coach and I knew that I could go on a team that had 10.5 years of experience, I would say yes in a heartbeat, because there's no story, there's no challenge, there's no issue, there's no problem, there's no nothing that probably someone on that team hasn't experienced and worked through. And I bet they could help me if I just reach out my hand. And that is a powerful, powerful piece about being part of this business, about being on this team, is the veteranness, if that's a word, of this team. And when you reach out your hand and say, I want to do something with this, can you help me? You literally have thousands of coaches on a 10.5-year-old team ready to say yes to you, ready to say, we will help you. And when you lean in, we lean back. And so you're never in business by yourself. You've got an incredible tribe that has your back, that wants to see you succeed. And when can you think of in life as a grown-up that there are people right behind you who believe so deeply in you that you could put out whatever goal that seems so mind-blowing, like there's no way, and you could put that out into the universe and you could share it with the team, and you've got hundreds and thousands of people behind you going, let's go, you can do this, let's go, let's go, let's go, and I'm going to hold you accountable to it. And that's what it's like being part of this team. I don't think we have that as grown-ups in any other situation. So to know that you've got people behind you, you've got world-class products and programs that over the past 20 years have changed millions of people's lives, 20 years of befores and afters, programs and products that work, that can work for you, a tribe that wants to see you succeed, wants to help you succeed, that has years of resources and tools and constant evolution now to help you succeed, and a plan to help you do that. An opportunity to create success and significance. And all you have to do is say yes. It's pretty cool. So whatever's been holding you back from saying yes to coaching, I think you got to get rid of that, because it could be that you're waiting to know all the answers and you never will. But I think more importantly, you're probably scared of your own potential and the limits that don't exist, because they don't, except in our heads. Kick those limits to the curb. It's a new month, almost, in a still very new year, and you have an opportunity to say yes to something that can change your life. And if a year from now, your life's not better with Beachbody in it, cool. Go about your merry way. But man, if you lean into this tribe, you lean into these products and programs in this community, you say yes, I think your life can change forever, because I sure know mine has. So I'm going to sign off Instagram now. April's going to come on here in our Facebook group. And if you've got questions that you need us to answer, just put them underneath these videos, and I promise we'll come back in and get them in the Facebook. If you've got questions on Instagram, you can just message me. Cool? All right, you guys have a great evening. Thanks for hanging out with me.